Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm starting to put together the cover for my Keepsake Journal, Family Keepsake Journal. And what I've done so far is cut the 3 pieces that I described in the previous video out of a Chex Mix box to make the cover. And I have cut out the fabric from my top that I'm going to use to cover the front. I'm using masking tape to put the the sides together with the spine. I've done this one side and I'm going to turn it over and do the other. I decided to put this on the outside so that I wouldn't take the chance of it showing through this fabric. It's all going to be covered up mostly anyway, but I didn't want to take that chance on having to do something extra on the cover. So all I'm doing is taking my masking tape and putting it down that seam. Then I will cut off the extra. Make sure I get that down good. And then we're going to crease it here in a minute. First, I'm just going to cut this off. Some people use fabric or paper. This has worked for me in the past. It's not what I do every time, but it's what I'm doing this time. Okay, so this will be on the outside. So what I want to do is make sure that this folds up well. Maybe just crease it a little bit to make sure. It's going to have paper and all inside too, so I just wanted to make sure that these sides fold up nice and we're going to have a nice book. So the next thing I will do is cut off the corners. Make sure I'm in frame because I don't have a lot of room here. Cut off the corners here, just out a little bit from the corner of the book. That just reduces the bulk when I fold it in. So the next thing I'll do is put glue on this and then lay it on the fabric. This is the back side of the fabric. This is the front side. So pretty. And I will glue that on, and then I will glue these sides down. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about how we're going to put the rest of the cover together. I've been working on the cover, and I got the fabric glued onto the front and back. Folded over the edges and glued. And in addition, I did start working on the outside. I love to do the cover first, but I may not do all the decorating. But the first thing I did was punch a hole before I put the signatures in for this little circle hanger. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to look and see. But this is what I put a tassel on. I'll put all my trims through there and everything, and then tie something around it, and I'll have a nice tassel here on the side. I didn't want to cover this up. It just looks so pretty with this that I wanted to keep it uncovered. I'll go ahead and show you what I did on the front. This is what I chose to put on the front cover. Mainly, I had something else selected, but I wanted to use this oval frame, and these are just like a chipboard or something that I ordered from Amazon, and I liked the way that it picked up the color here on the edge. And I'm going to use some ecru lace somewhere in this journal or on the front here where it's really going to be beautiful. So that gives it kind of a three-dimensional look. And maybe I'll put some ribbon down here and some lace or something, kind of maybe something similar to what I did here on this box. Put a cluster of something down here and maybe put the name of the journal up here if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, so after I glued on, I'm using my Fabri-Tac. I used to use Barely Art glue all the time, but I'm starting to lean toward Fabri-Tac. So, and that fastened all this on better, I think. So here's my front and back cover. This will be decorated more. This will have a tassel. We'll have lace sticking out the side. And on the inside, and you're going to laugh at me, I said I was going to put the print of the checks box on the inside so it wouldn't show through, and then I sat here and glued it down, but it does not show through. So thank goodness for that. So here's my hanger for my tassel already placed in there. And the next thing I did, because I want to do a hidden spine, I created a template. And you can probably download one from somewhere, but I just created my own. And what I did was I made these 3 lines, which made one line in the center and one halfway in between the center and the edge, and the same on this side. This will be for my 3 signatures. Remember, I'm going to have 2 decorative signatures on either side and something different in the middle. I haven't decided on that yet. Okay, then I measured down 1 inch and up 1 inch and put my 3 dots for placing my holes, and then these 3 are in the center. Then I cut a piece of paper like this and marked the 3 holes, and this is what I'll put down in my signatures when I'm starting to poke the holes through the whole thing. So that's completed, and I really need to save these. I keep having to make them, but so this is for a 2.5 inch spine. Okay, so when you're going to do a hidden spine, you attach your signatures onto something that looks like this. The signatures will be attached in here, and then this whole thing will glue down to the spine. And then these will reinforce by coming across here, and then our inside front and back cover will be glued down. And this makes it so everything is covered of the box. This is in behind the signature, so you have something pretty that's in there. And then once the signatures are mounted in there, that's when you'll glue this whole thing down, glue these down, and then put your front and back covers in there. So that's where I am so far. Now I'm going to go and put together my signatures like I want them. And I have rounded the corners and inked the edges. I plan to do that all the way through. So I'll be back when I get my signatures ready to put in the book. Isn't that going to be beautiful? I love it. I don't know how I'm going to do my closure yet, but I don't want to wrap something around here, and I didn't want anything interfering over here. So I'll figure out a closure later. Maybe I'll have it come before I glue these down. I'll have my ribbon under here and glued. That's probably what I'll do. Hopefully I won't forget. If I do, there's always another way. If you haven't learned that yet, you can't mess these things up. You can always fix a mistake, and that's how we learn, by making mistakes and watching other people make mistakes. So that's how we learn, and then the next time we do it right. So I did mean to put my ribbons here, but I can still do them inside, and that will be fine for the closure. So I'm going to work on my signatures, and I'll be back. I've got quite a mess here on my desk, but I wanted to show you what I've done. I have the journal ready to put together. The first thing I did was, remember I told you I needed to do something for closure. So before I did anything else, I went ahead and got my recycled silk ribbon and glued it in securely here. And then also we will have the back cover glued on it, and so it's going to be nice and sturdy. I just glued it in. Now if you had wanted to, and I maybe should have glued it in on the front before I put this down, I could have done that, but I think this is going to hold just fine. So there's that. And then I wanted to do the hidden spine, and if you remember, I had cut out this thing right here, and I had the template to poke the holes in it. You can see where the holes are. I used the template, and then on each signature I put the template in, poked the holes, and then bound it in there with the thread. I use this awl to poke my holes. I use this nice, sharp, heavy-duty needle with a large eye on it. And on this one, I have used, I'm not sure what this thread is, but it's very heavy-duty. It's not going to come out of there. And if you've seen how to bind this way, how to sew it together, I didn't show it again this time because I've done it so many times. And you can look up hidden spine and it'll show you exactly how I did this. So I have 3 signatures. There's one, here's the second one, and here's the third one. I didn't show you these little things. I have these clips that I use to clip the pages like this on all 4 sides when I'm putting the holes in and putting this into the hidden spine, so that all the pages stay close and close together. Okay, so now, well, and when you're putting it together, make sure everything is in there correctly. Nothing's upside down, so that's easy to do. So you want to make sure you don't have anything upside down. So the next thing will be to take this cover, make sure it's right side up, and your elements are right side up, and then we're going to glue this. We're going to glue this in right here. Glue the part that fastens to the book securely, and then I'll secure these 2 ends. As soon as I do that, then I will come back and glue in the inside front cover. So I'm going to go do that and then come back and flip through these pages and show you what the journal looks like so far. And then I think that's all we'll have on this video. I'll come back with something new for you for some of the inserts. So hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I can show you our book. It's all glued together, and it's undecorated inside, and the cover's not finished. But I just want to flip through and show you what I've done. Here's our ties. That'll be our closure. I've left plenty of length on there because the book is apt to be pretty fat after we add everything in. And then it will open up to show the inside inside front cover. And here's our first signature. And this is the center where I have tied, sewn it together. And then I tied a square knot, and then I tied a bow. Sometimes I leave the strings hanging down to put charms on, but I didn't do that this time. So basically what we have is printed on the front of each page, the designed pages, and on the back, the pages where you could write. So the first and last signatures will be pretty full of pockets and things. So the writing space will be like in above the pockets or whatever, and on the tags and journal cards put inside. So this will get decorated up quite a bit. Beautiful papers. And then here's the other side of everything. Now in the center, I told you I wanted to do something a little different. See how you can see this design here from the hidden spine. You can see the design in there instead of all the folded over fabric and all that stuff. So here's our center. I won't decorate this as much. There are some pockets in here, so I'll use the pockets. Some of the pages will have lace on the edges. I like to have the lace sticking out, but I'll show you what I did. Here's a page here. This is mostly for writing. And then I put a page in and I cut part of it off and folded it over to make a pocket here. And then I folded up a page and put it in and made a pocket on each side. You'll see the other half. And this one is toward the bottom of the pages. I know my butterfly's upside down, but this is right side up. I had to make a choice, so this will be decorated a little. And remember, this is mostly for writing, so there's lots of writing space. And then here's a second one sheet that I folded up to make two pockets, and it's mounted toward the top. This is the center. So we have our pockets here and our pages to write. And then this is the last half of it, which has the other side of the one on the bottom. It's got a little glue on it. I'm going to have to fix that. And then the other one, wait a minute, I missed one. Oh, no I didn't. Okay, and then we have this last page here where I took this page that was opened up here, and I put another folded page on top of this, glued it here, and made a pocket. This is a large pocket, I hope. Yeah, it's a pocket. So this will hold like a really long tag, maybe with some ribbons at the top. So there's room to write in here, and this folds back in. And our last signature just has the pretty pages on the front and the writing pages on the back. This will be loaded up with pockets and different things. So we have something like 84 pages, I think, in here, counting the front and back of these half pages. Nice big fat journal. Now when I come back, I'm gonna, I think we'll come back with a mass make of some tags and journal cards that we can use in the book. And I'll show you my ancestors' pictures that I'm gonna put in here. So that'll be our next video. And so until then, I hope you can start to put yours together if you're using this kit. Gosh, it's beautiful. I really love it. So I have the journal here, and I have my beautiful little box, and I'm still busy cutting out the ephemera. So I'm going to go do that a little bit more now that I have this all set up and ready to go, ready to decorate. So we'll come back and do some tags and journal cards that'll be placed in the pockets and maybe even on the page as pockets. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Gosh, I just love being back in the craft room. It's been so long, and I've missed it, and I've missed sharing my ideas. I haven't had time to concentrate, so you can't do something like this when you've got 50 other things going on. You have to either find a way to shut it all out, give yourself like a quiet hour or something, or just take a day when you don't have anything else scheduled and ignore the housework, ignore the laundry, ignore everything, and just get in your room and make something beautiful. So remember, every day's a gift, and look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone along the way. I'll be back before you know it. See you soon.